Andariki namaskaramulu. Today is the second day of our classes on Ramayanam by Dr. Ananta Padmanabha garu. So let us welcome him and let us start the session with Vande Mataram and Prarthana. So let us request Challa Chittibabu garu to start Vande Mataram, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Supalam, Malayaj Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Subrajyosna pulakitayaminim pullakusumita drumadala shobhinim suhasinim sumadhura bhashinim sukhadam varadam mataram vande mataram. Vande Mataram.
Namaskar. Vande Mataram. ధన్యవాదములండి Challa Chittibabu garu. Now let us request Vishalakshi garu to chant Prarthana, please.
Sarvebhyo Namaskaraha. Let us meditate for a minute. So gently close your eyes, relax your body, and focus on your breath. Om Gananan Tva Ganapati-gum Havamahi Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrunva Notibhi Siddha Sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinamavitrayavatu. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva gatir gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave. Na guruh paramam shishurasmi guruhu matirasti gurau mama pahi guru. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalaspatikakrutim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivam Shruti smruti purananam alayam karunalayam namami bhagvat pada shankaram loka shankaram shankaram shankaracharyam keshavam badarayanam sutra bhashya krutau vande bhagavantau punah punaha ishvaro gururatmeti मूर्ति भेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्।
ధన్యవాదములండి. అతి ఉత్తమం. Now let us request Ananta Padmanabha Rao garu to start the webinar, please.
सभाय नमः। वागर्धाविव संपृक्तौ वागर्ध प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूता रमसागरगामिनी श्रीमद् रामायणी गंगा पुनाति भुवनत्रयम् श्लोकसारसमाकीर्णम् सर्गकल्लोलसङ्कुलम् काण्डग्राहमहामीनम् वन्दे रामायणार्णवम्। सीताकोमलपल्लवलसद्रामतरुश्रियम् प्राचेतसीं कलां वन्दे श्रीमद् रामायणीं गिरम्। वाल्मीकिहृदयाम्बोज क्वणन्मधुरषट्पदीं वाल्मीकिमुखलक्ष्मीं तां वन्दे पिकमधुस्वराम्। Pronouns to all the honorable members of this group. All of you are learned people. My only deliberations are to inform you about your own knowledge. Yesterday we were discussing about the virtues of Rama. When we discuss about the virtues of Rama, there are three types. One is the virtues secured by controlling the mind, because mind is the controlling authority. And another is through the intellect. And the last one is attaining such high mind and intellect. These are the three main virtues which everybody has, but Rama has it in 100%. Then among these, Shuchi or Shaucham, purity, is the most revered and most respected one. Then when you come to concept of the Shaucham, it connotes three ideas. One is purity, celibacy, and straightforwardness. That is more important for a statesman. A person who practices Shaucham is called Suchi. The person himself is known as Suchi. Then you may ask me, what is purity? The purity must be both external and internal, and it must be maintained in food, mind, speech, and body. These are the four ingredients. One is food, whatever food we take, mind, speech, and body. When we refer to Shruti has declared that from purity of food follows the purity of internal organs. The modern youngsters, they should learn this. They should think about this. From the purification of the internal organs comes the unfailing memory. Now all the junk food is being taken by the children and they practice all these burgers and all these things. After the achievement of the memory, it comes falling as under all the knots of the heart. Before taking food, one should look for the following one. One is its nature, not being one that brings excitement, its quality, not being affected by dirt or dust or other external impurities. Then it's preparation by a person who maintains cleanliness. That is why in earlier days, our cooks, they used to have the shuchitvam. Then only they used to cook, even our own household woman. It is said, one should not take food from a wicked person. And you should not take spittle or defiled food, since it is prohibitive. Then with reference to the nature of food, it is always desirable and preferable that only one should take what is known as sattvika food. Even in the food also we have sattvika, tamasa, rajasa. So one should have the sattvic food only. One should tame one's mind, which is like an elephant or a horse, so that one can ride it, or else one would be trampled under its feet, because your mind is like a horse or an elephant. Sri Rama obtained purity, both physical and mental. Hence, the sage Valmiki described him at a number of places in this entire Ramayana epic as Suchi. When Rama is mentioned, he is described as a person Suchi. But how he got it? He was initiated correctly by the sages Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. The God-given aspect in Rama's character is he had two gurus. One is Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. Though they were deferred in some cases, but they were also in friendly nature. And what did they tell Rama? They wanted him to be on the lines of Dharma path. And on the first day, when he followed Vishwamitra to protect the yaga, the sage initiated him into two spells of Bala and Atibala. This we know in Ramayana. Vishwamitra gave them these two, Bala and Atibala. But what did Vishwamitra do? Before initiating Sri Rama into that faculty, he wanted him to perform what is known as Achamana. Here I will be taking some time regarding to describe Achamana, how many times we have to do and at what point of time also we have to do. What is Achamana? Sipping water with devotion and maintain the purity of mind. Accordingly, Rama did Achamana to receive Bala and Atibala. Similarly, after taking rest on the first night, Vishwamitra woke up him. Yesterday I was discussing about Kausalya, Supraja, Rama. Then Rama and Lakshmana got up and after taking bath, gave oblations of water to the sun god, Tarpana, Surya Tarpanas, and chanted the most sacred text of Gayatri and performed the daily routine of Brahma Yajna and other rituals. Then sage Valmiki described on several occasions how Rama performed the daily rituals. Because when we go through the text of Ramayana at several places, the performance of these rituals was divine to Rama. It is our experience that in grief also, when we shed tears, it brings impurity. So one should immediately wash himself and secure normal state. The epic records the tradition of performing Achamana on such occasions also. When you are in grief, you should also do Achamana. For this, an example is, Kausalya broke down and shed tears on the occasion of the departure of Rama for exile. Having realized that he was firm in his decision to go for exile, she performed Achamana, and after becoming pure, she blessed Rama. This is the occasion which we have to remember. Similarly, on another occasion, Sumantra had shed tears when he had to part the company of Rama. Sita Devi and Lakshmana were also with him. After leaving them in the forest, when Rama insisted that Sumantra should go back and report that the exile of Sri Rama had started, Sumantra performed Achamana. So these are the three incidents where we have to see how Achamana is to be performed. The pure mind is free from raga and dvesha. Raga, dvesha are the 2 points which will spoil the mind of a person. Attachment and hatred. When the kingdom slipped from his hands, Rama never felt dejected, but readily accepted the vow to go for exile. He never entertained any animosity against Kaikeyi or Bharata. He never felt in his mind. On the other hand, he continued to love them, considering the event of his exile as providential, which was more beneficial for him. He never thought that he is in exile. He never uttered one disparaging word even against Ravana, who committed severe offense by abducting his wife, Sita. Even before the war, or after he was killed in incomparable war of 7 days, such equanimity of mind maintained by Rama was because of his virtue of Shaucham. So this is the point which some people can note down. Shaucham is more important, and the person who has that is known as a Suchi. Then coming to the god of fire, he is called Suchi. When we invoke God Agni, it is Suchi, as he is the embodiment of purity, and he is incapable of becoming or being made impure even in the midst of filth. Purity brings tejas. That is brilliance. We see always the luster or brilliance in a man who is pure. If you see a person like Ranchi Paramacharya, the brilliance will be known to us. No one should know the benefits derived by observing purity. Sage Patanjali says, by purity, one achieves the purification of heart, cheerfulness of mind, power of concentration, control of passion, and fitness for securing the vision of reality. Those who want to note down, you please note down this sentence. Patanjali's sentence is very important. By purity, that means by Suchitvam, one achieves the purification of heart, cheerfulness of mind, power of concentration, control of passions, and fitness for securing the vision of reality. This purity is lost by attachment. This is the importance of Suchitvam, and Rama is an epitome of Suchitvam. Agni Suchihi, that is the Veda. Then coming to Dhamma, that is control of senses. This concept of Dhamma is controlled in 10 organs, which is a facet of truth. Similarly, the concept of Sama is controlling the mind. Rama possessed both these virtues. Then when we come to the importance of the vow taken by Rama to lead the life of an anchorite during his exile for 14 years, because he was having a purity in mind. Further, Rama did not even enter towns and villages during the days of his exile. He took it as a vow not to enter any town or city or a place of dwelling. The expression Vasti was also interpreted by scholars with reference to Rama to mean that he could keep the entire world under his control. Vasi, he is a person who can control the entire world. Then for the best example of Dhamma, we can take several examples of Hanuman's behavior. Today, I'll be more discussing about the characteristics of Hanuman. Under this virtue, it is appropriate to remember Hanuman as he constitutes a personification of virtue of Dhamma. Dhamma means an illustrative thing of Hanuman. Tejo Vardhanayati. That is Dhamma. By what the Dhamma, you can get the Tejo into increasement. He is ever Brahmachari, Hanuman, by observing celibacy. He is known for his self-control. His virtues were praised by even Sita Devi. When he broke the news of the success of her husband, she said, "You are praiseworthy and a supremely pious son of the god," Sita Devi was telling, by the god of wind. Strength, valor, knowledge, vigor, prowess, skill, luster, forbearance, firmness, stability, humility, and numerous other brilliant qualities exist in you. These are the words uttered by none other than Sita Devi. Then Rama also praised Hanuman in several occasions. Addressing sage Agastya, Rama said, "The help rendered by Hanuman in the war is so great because he was the person who saved the lives of several people. The strength and valor shown by Hanuman in the war with Ravana were not reported as ever had been done by God Yama, God Indra, or God Kubera, or God Vishnu, because he has the powers of all these qualities." And Rama says, "All my success in the war was due to Hanuman only." But when we compare the story, the part played by him in the war was so great. Rama himself has admitted it. He fought with almost all the eminent heroes that came to the battlefield on behalf of Ravana. So Hanuman was at the forefront. In particular, he killed Trisharsha, Dhumraksha, Nikumbha, Akampana, and Devantaka. When Ravana came for the first time to the battlefield, he challenged him saying, "You remember me, who killed your son Akshaya, and you will also go in the same way." These are the words uttered by Hanuman when he saw him for the first time in the battlefield. Ravana was infuriated at this and gave a slap on the chest of Hanuman. On that, Hanuman reeled round. However, after he recovered, he gave Ravana a slap on his chest in return. Thereupon, Ravana was violently shaken as a mountain during an earthquake. This is a very historic occasion. Ravana recovered from the blow and applauded Hanuman. How he said, "Well done, O monkey. You are an adversary worthy of my praise in point of valor." Even Ravana has praised Hanuman. Thereupon, Hanuman said, "Curse on my valor. You are still alive, having taken my blow. O Ravana, why do you brag?" Thereupon, Ravana, strenuously clenching his right fist, gave a blow on the chest of Hanuman. Thereupon, Hanuman reeled again and again. Seeing that Hanuman reeled down, and it would be difficult for him to tackle him if he recovered, Ravana rushed to the commander-in-chief, Nila. Nila was the commander-in-chief on behalf of the Vanaras. Hanuman, having recovered, did not follow Ravana as he was fighting with another warrior. This is the situation at the war field. Again, when we come to the traits of Hanuman, when Lakshmana swooned, Ravana wanted to lift him, but he could not do so. Having witnessed that, Hanuman again came on the scene and gave him a blow on his chest with his fist. He is in the habit of giving a blow. Thereupon, Ravana fell onto the floor of his chariot on his knees, reeled and lay prostrate, blood oozing profusely through his mouth, eyes, and ears. Nay, reeling about, he sank motionless in the hinder part of his chariot and lost his consciousness. This is the situation of Ravana. And all sages and monkeys rejoiced at this point because they were just expecting that whatever Ravana has done is an unruly way. When Kumbhakarna came to the battlefield, Hanuman miraculously caught the heavy pike of Kumbhakarna, which he threw at Sugriva, and placing under the knee that huge iron pike, weighing 1,000 baras, broke into two pieces. This was the strength of Hanuman. When he came first time to see Sita Devi, Hanuma single-handedly killed warrior Jambumali, 7 ministers and 5 commanders of Ravana, most powerful son, Akshay Kumara. Ravana felt very badly when Akshay Kumara was killed. Above all these things, he flew with ease 100 yojanas from one end to the another end to reach Lanka. As we know, the bridge was constructed 100 yojanas in length and 10 yojanas in width. This was also filed as an affidavit in the court recently when UPA government was there. There was a Supreme Court case, and that point of time they wanted to know whether Ramasetu was built or not. So at that point of time, the Secretary Shipping was APV in Sharmagar, an IAS officer. So he was telling that the government has to file an affidavit whether Ramasetu was there, whether it is only an imaginary thing in the Ramayana. But finally they concluded that there was a Ramasetu, and even one Mr. K. Srinivasa Rao, Chief Personal Officer of Railways, he has written a novel and how Ramasetu has been built and what was the background of that story, and it is a reality. Similarly, when Hanuman has flown and reached Lanka, when Indrajit used Brahmastra, he flew from Lanka, the southernmost corner to the Himalayas, the northernmost corner, and brought the peaks of Kailasa and Rishabha containing medicinal plants. This we know because Hanuman has brought to save the lives of Lakshmana. And then he had to do this a second time also when Lakshmana swooned. Thus, he brought these mountain peaks containing medicinal herbs twice and again went to that place to place them back in their original place. Apart from his ability to fly from extreme south to the extreme north, he brought and took back the mountain peaks, placing them in his palm, which could not be achieved except by divine blessings, because one cannot hold the mountain by his palm. And regarding his wavelength, it is said, Manojabam Marutatulya Vegam, that is very speedy. We shall now consider the personality of Hanuman. Poet Valmiki summed up saying that his qualities are Mahidhara, Mahatejaha. He resembles like a mountain and endowed with extraordinary powers of energy. However, the poet described Hanuman like this, because every time when we speak of Hanuman, even Lord Parashar, who was a legal advisor for the Ayodhya case, he was doing his pranams to the Lord Rama, and it seems several monkeys entered into his house when he was doing this after the completion of Ayodhya verdict. So even now, Hanuman is present at all places when he is worshipped. So Valmiki describes Hanuman like this. He is Vinitaha, very humble, and Samskara Sampannaha. This is more important in a person. He should have the samskaras, the richly endowed with culture. This is the secret of Hanuman's personality. And the poet invariably describes at several places about his physical features. What are his physical features? Giri, Parvata, Shaila, Achala. These are the words used by Valmiki when he was describing the physical fitness of Hanuman. He says, comparing with great mountains like Meru, Mandara, possessing extraordinary energy, emitting light, shining like a rising sun or a blazing fire, Hanuman also was with very, very glaring personality. Yet, he is a humble person. His humility preserved his energy, nay, invigorated, doubled, multiplied, never exhausted. This is the characterization of Hanuman in the entire episode. For everybody, humility is a sure road for progress. Pride blocks the way. Normally, we get pride when we become an officer or when we get the energy by our own richness, then we get very much pride, and we will never see others, our friends or relatives, as our own friends. So this gives Hanuman's character is he seeks blessings of elders before he starts any work. On any occasion, when he starts for a journey, he seeks the blessings of elders. He invokes divine blessings when an uphill task is to be performed. So we shall also maintain some of the instances like this. We take one or two incidents of Hanuman's adventures. When he first met Sri Rama, he bowed low and then spoke to him. This is the way normally when we go to seers, sages like Paramacharya, this is the way we have to speak. We should not speak loudly, or we should keep our own presence like this. He bowed low and then spoke to him. When he took his leap crossing the sea, he first bowed to the elder monkeys like Jambavan or this. After his return again, he bowed to the elder monkeys, Jambavan and Nela. When he saw Sita Devi, he placed his joined palms on his head and began to speak. This is the way how he met Sita Devi. When he had to take permission to leave her, he made Padakshana, went clockwise around her, and then departed. This is the behavior of Hanuman, and we should appreciate and cultivate this type of behavior. When he had to cross the sea to bring the celestial herbs, he bowed to the sea god and took his permission. When he was narrating his successful trip to Lanka before the elder monkeys like Jambavan and Nela, and also before Sri Rama, he turned to the direction of Lanka, where Sita Devi was staying, bowed his head with reverence, and then began to narrate his journey. Normally, if you complete an achievement, when you come to your elders or friends, you will, with the collar ahead, you will be saying that I have done this, I have done this, I have done this, I have done this. But the word which uttered by Drishtva Sita, these are the words uttered by Hanuman. He did not say Sita first, because Rama will say what happened to Sita, because he is in a dilemma, Rama. So the word which Hanuman said was the first sentence, the first syllable was Drishtva, I have seen. Then he narrates the entire episode. Then when he decided to cross the sea, he prayed to sun god, God Indra, God Vayu, Lord Brahmadeva, and all the celestial devatas. When he got frustrated in his attempts to search Sita Devi, he could not find her. He prayed to Vasus, Rudras, Adityas, Ashwini Devatas, Maruts, sages, and all gods, Brahmadeva, Rudra, Sun God, and Moon, Sri Rama, Lakshmana, Sita Devi, and Sugriva. These are the people whom he has prayed. All of them should help him to secure success in achieving the object of finding out Sita without any further delay, because he has already spent a lot of time in the search of Sita Devi. That was his faith. This we should cultivate. Whenever we have been given a burden or an achievement to be done, we should pray our elders, Vasurudra, Adityas. These are the people when we make Pinda Pradhana, these are the people which we pray, because they have to bless us. Then coming to Hanuman, we see that his humility is not only in his action, but also in utterances. Because when we speak about ourselves, we say, I was that, I was this, I was Director General, I was at the head of the office, or whatever it is. We boast of ourselves, but he never. When Sita Devi praised him as a thunderstruck, stating that he could alone cross the sea and wage war against Ravana, Hanuman said, there exists in the army of Sugriva, O Mata Sita Devi, you just listen to me. there exists in the army of Sugriva warriors who are equals and even superior to me. None is inferior to me in the company of Sugriva, because Sugriva's Sena is a very rich Sena. Even if I could come to this place, how easily could they arrive who are endowed with extraordinary might? Normally, when somebody is praising anyone, he says, I have done this because I am a very bold man. But Hanuman did not say. He says, there are so many other people like me, or even more than strengthening me. Surely, superior ones are not sent on their errands. This is the word which Hanuman said. Normally, for small things, we send our children to go to the bus stand or whatever place and to bring something, milk or whatever it is. Only inferior ones are so sent. Ma Sita Devi, you listen to me. This is the height of humility. Besides his inherent virtue of humility, he was also cursed by sages not to be conscious of his powers, which operated as a boon in his favor. This is another thing which you have to remember. Because in spite of all this rightness in his character, he was given several curses by several people. When he was young, all the Devasas, including the Lord of creation, Brahmadeva, blessed him with full powers and valor on the occasion when Indra struck him down with his weapon, Vajrayudha. Since then, Hanuman was giving trouble to sages who were performing penance by his mischievous activities. When he was very young, he did all these mischievous things. So the sages thought that he should be controlled. So sages, knowing fully well the part to be played by Hanuman in the coming war with Ravana, they cursed him not to know his powers till someone prompts him about his powers. That was the very height of Hanuman's character. And then he was superior to Vali. He could not help Sugriva when he was banished from the kingdom. Otherwise, Hanuman himself should have banished Vali and brought back Sugriva. Similarly, for crossing the ocean, till Jambavan prompted him. Jambavan praised Hanuman, saying that you are very powerful. And then only he recognized that he is powerful. He kept quiet and never offered to cross the ocean till Jambavan has prompted him. Hence, the curse of sages operated as a boon in his favor, considering himself always as a humble servant of Rama. This is the underlying strength of Hanuman's life. The virtue of humility gave him the faculty of speaking softly and sweetly. In fact, the poet himself says, Hanuman for the first in the fourth book, that is Kishkinda Kanda, described him as Vakyako Vidaha, Vadatam Vara. These two sentences, please note down. Vakyako Vidaha, in Kishkinda Kanda it is there, and also Vadatam Vara. An excellent instance in justifying this remark by poet is when he first met Rama and Lakshmana and made enquiries about him, questioning their arrival in the forest in a most appropriate way. Rama was very much impressed by the way in which he spoke and said to Lakshmana, to speak in the way he has done is not possible for one who has not studied Rigveda, non-Veda Rigvedam, these were the words, nor memorized Yajurveda and has no knowledge of Samaveda. So this person has all the abilities of knowing all these three Vedas. Surely the entire range of Sanskrit grammar has been studied by him. He is Vyakarana Vetta also. The speech emanated from his bosom and articulated by his throat. It came from his heart. He utters a wholesome, distinct, and remarkable speech, which is grammatically correct, fluent, delightful to the mind. So, the king who had a services of such envy will surely be met with success. This is the final words Rama has uttered regarding Hanuman. He was an envoy. He was an envoy of Sugriva. Sugriva was frightened after seeing these two people with bows and arrows. He thought that they are the persons sent by Vali to kill Sugriva. So he sent Hanuman to inquire about the whereabouts and antecedents of Rama and Lakshmana. So Hanuman came in a disguise, and then he uttered these words, and Rama also has praised him. And Hanuman always thinks deeply about a particular situation and acts and deliberates. Sri Rama, for the first time, took the form of an ascetic, as anyone should normally bow and give respect to an ascetic. When he met Rama and Lakshmana, he was in the form of a sage, an ascetic. And he made great deliberations when he could not find Sita Devi, in spite of his thorough search of the entire city of Lanka during night. He was in search of Sita Devi. He mistook Mandodari as Sita Devi also. Then he repented, and finally he went to Sita Devi. When he saw Sita Devi in Ashokavana and witnessed the cruel utterances of Ravana and the ogresses, he was in a predicament to appear before Sita Devi. Directly, he doesn't want to see her. He thought if he left immediately for Kishkinda to report about his seeing her at Lanka, she may not survive till Sri Rama comes to this place, because here he has to take a decision. His assignment was to search Sita. He found Sita Devi, so he can immediately return back to Rama and say that I have seen Sita. That is why people say, Sotanaki Viliramante Kalchu Chadu. This was the saying normally we do. If he was asked by Sri Rama what was the message given to him by Sita Devi, he would have no answer if he has not spoken to her. If he had to speak to Sita Devi, she might mistake him to be Ravana in the form of a monkey and might cry out, in which even the ogresses might catch hold of him and take to Ravana, and then he would have to leave Lanka without giving any message to her. So these are the predicaments which he has faced. So Lanka, without giving any message, in those circumstances, he decided to pleasantly sing the story of Sri Rama. This is the action which he has taken, which is being rightly described by Valmiki also as the best way which he wanted to convince Sita Devi. And he started the story, and he sang about the Sri Ramas in praise, which would please her and attract her attention towards him with less danger and doubt in her mind to speak to him. Otherwise, she will be under the impression that Ravana has come in this form of a monkey. His sagacity was also established when he went to the Himalayas to bring the celestial herbs. When he went to Parvata to bring these, he finally decided to seize hold of the top of the mountain, which was adorned with thousands of minerals, and he brought it. And when we compare the intellect of Hanuman, he was a person of great intellect and full of wisdom. He would do the proper thing on any given occasion, transforming the situation into a pleasant and beneficial to one and all. Then there are two occasions when Hanuman's judgment has been praised by Sri Rama. One is when Rama and Sugriva first met. Sugriva was very much happy and requested Rama to become his friend. And then Sugriva said, let this hand be clasped with yours as evidencing our friendship. Sneha, Sanghatana, they wanted to have a shake hand. Rama did accordingly. However, on this particular occasion, Hanuman lighted the fire out of a pyre of logs of wood, and after worshipping it with flowers, placed the same between Rama and Sugriva, and both of them went round the inflamed fire clockwise, Pradakshina, and got highly delighted on that occasion to see each other. This is the way how a person who is almost like a minister to the king to do. Okay, no one told him to get the fire or do pradakshina or whatever it is. But immediately he got and he did this. This is the way Hanuman made their friendship on that occasion, witnessed by God of fire. That is why even now, when we celebrate any auspicious thing, we do this Agni Pradakshina. When Sugriva was showing slackness in performing his duty after the killing of Vali, Hanuman tendered advice to him very firmly and asked him to take immediate steps in search of Sita Devi. Then the Valmiki described this advice as a friendly one, truthful, wholesome, persuasive, righteous, full of meaning and prudent. These are the words uttered by Valmiki. Then when we just move on to the story, when Lakshmana came to Kishkinda, full of anger for the delay caused by Sugriva, to know the steps taken by the king of Vanaras, Hanuman said very clearly to Sugriva, "You are at fault for causing the delay, O Sugriva. A king must be tendered a salutary advice by councils appointed by him, and hence shedding of fear by displeasing him. I am telling you that which has been carefully considered by me." This is the advice given by Hanuman to Sugriva. Hanuman is also a past master in statecraft, and the poet described him as Sachivottama. Please note down, Sachivottama, foremost of counselors. Sugriva has several counselors. This person is the foremost. And Ameyatma, possessing infinite intelligence. These two instances about the faculty of Hanuman, we should note down. Then coming to the end of the Vali story, when Tara was lamenting bitterly, sitting by the side of the dead body of her husband Vali, Hanuman took a careful step of consoling her, which virtually decided the fate of the kingdom of Kishkinda. Here we have to see how these instances have completely moved towards the kingdom of Vanaras. The necessity for us to remember that though Sri Rama promised thrice to Sugriva to kill Vali, who coveted his wife, and to help him without fail in this regard, Rama never promised Sugriva to install him as a king in the case of Vibhishana. When in the case of Vibhishana, Rama told him that you will be the king of Lanka. But in the case of Sugriva, Rama never uttered these words. No doubt, on one occasion, Rama said to Sugriva that he would also get the kingdom. Thus, it could not be taken that Sugriva was entitled to acquire the kingdom. On the other hand, some of the warriors associated with Vali informed Tara that she should take immediate step to install Angada as king of Kishkinda, because he is the legal heir. So people advised her. And it was not advisable for her to go to the spot where Vali fell down. They advised her not to go to the place where Vali was falling down. However, Tara did not agree with them, and she came to the husband Vali, resolving herself to fast unto death, Amarana Nirahara Diksha. At that stage, the matters were in flux, and hence Hanuman said, consoling her, not to grieve neglecting her duties at the time of birth and death of the created beings are always indefinite, and hence she must look to the welfare of her son. Hanuman advised, "O Tara, it is your duty to take the wellness of Angada." You just think of this. The person who is born is destined to go for death, so don't worry about this. He also said, "O irreproachable lady, all warriors among monkeys, your son Angada and the entire kingdom of monkeys and bears look to you as a protector." He was giving confidence to her. "O good lady, let Angada rule the kingdom. You take the steps of rituals for Vali and let Angada be installed on the throne. Beholding your son seated on the throne, you will have peace of mind. These are the words of Hanuman. Vali did not breathe his last, though he was on the verge of collapse. In reply to the words uttered by Hanuman, she replied totally negative. She was also a very clever lady. I have no power over the kingdom of monkeys, nor over the installation of Angada. His uncle Sugriva is the authority in all the matters. She was a very cleverful lady. Your suggestion that I must look to the installation of Angada is not my concern. It is the lookout of his uncle Sugriva, for it always father, and in the absence of him, uncle, who is the protector of the son, but not the mother. How clever she was and how legally oriented her mind. In this word, nothing is advisable for me except to follow my husband Vali. Having heard these utterances of Tara, Vali was also very much pleased and asked Sugriva to take out the gold chain from his neck and be the ruler of the kingdom and protect Angada. This is the story. We may also add, Sri Hanuman gave a correct advice to Sri Rama at the time of Vibhishana's appearance. Vibhishana came to Rama after differing with Ravana's advice. Sri Rama asked the opinion of all the people, and finally, when Hanuman also was asked to express his opinion, he said, on an occasion like this, we have no other method to test the sincerity of the seeker of help except to look his utterances, behavior, and circumstances. These are the words uttered by Hanuman regarding the praise of Vibhishana. Then his speech is not faulty. The facial expressions reveal his inner feelings. He might have heard that Vali was killed and Sugriva was made the king. Similarly, considering the circumstances, he might have thought the best way would be to seek your help and gain the sovereignty of Lanka. This is the advice given to Rama at this point of time. And we have seen the several instances where Hanuman was praised by most of the people. Then coming to the other part of the story regarding the paragon of par excellence. Valmiki has mentioned Sita Devi as a paragon par excellence. The vision and the voice of Valmiki are always seen at the best while portraying the character of Sita. She was an ideal woman, a model for modesty, a symbol of sophisticated simplicity, an embodiment of grace and grandeur, a strict observer of ethical code of conduct, an exceptional example of supreme love, and a rare combination of courage and compassion. These are the qualities of Sita Devi as illustrated by Valmiki. I will repeat again for the benefit of the people who want to note down. She is a model for modesty, a symbol of sophisticated simplicity, an embodiment of grace and grandeur, a strict observer of ethical code of conduct, an exceptional example of supreme love, and rare combination of courage and compassion. These qualities make her a perfect match for the celebrated personality, Rama, whom she never even excels at times. She was the first introduced by Valmiki by the celestial sage Narada as a lady gifted with all the good qualities of a woman, which placed her foremost among the fair sex. And she is a part of her life breath. Valmiki presents her towards the end of the Balakanda when she joins Rama as her life companion, Dharmapatni. Narada too describes her as a creation of divine mystery, as it is impossible to believe that such a human being can exist in this phenomenal world. When we see the characterization of Sita Devi at all places throughout Balakanda to Yuddhakanda, she has the exceptional qualities of a woman. She never hated anyone. but only pitied and pardoned those who had an evil eye on her, never harmed even those who tried to harm and harass her. So many people tried to harass her in Ashokavana. She was always strong in her determination to do the right, very unmindful of the wrong done to her, and made no compromise with comfort or convenience at the cost of the righteousness. Her life was full of odds and adversities, leading no soul-stirring ordeals, which she alone could face and surmount. Even in my own book, Antaranga Tarangam, Sitayanam, I have mentioned about some instances where she has come out from her mind. I took the inner soul or inner voice of the ladies in Ramayana. I narrated in my book about the characterization of several characters. I first took about Kausalya. She was never vocal, whatever has happened to her. Even at the time of Payasa distribution, she was very silent. When Dasharatha gave twice to Sumitra, it was his choice. Kausalya never questioned. And when at the time of Kaikeyi's boons, she also never uttered a word. And always she was praising her husband. And even at the time of the departure of Rama to the exile, she blessed him with all comforts, and she never uttered a word towards Dasharatha. At the final point of time, when Dasharatha came to Kausalya, she was in a very pathetic situation. And finally, when all of them were asleep, Dasharatha has completed his journey. Then coming to Sunandana Devi, Sunayana we call her, she is the wife of Janaka Maharshi. This is a peculiar character. In several places we have not come across this name. She is known as Ratnamala also as otherwise. And she at one point of time, she questioned Janaka, saying that, hey Lord, let us go to Ayodhya and bring Urmila, who is alone there. We can bring her to this place for this entire exile period of Rama and Lakshmana. Then Janaka said, he was a very sage person and he was a celestial person also. It is the proper place for a woman who is married is to stay with her in-laws only. We should not bring back her. Then this Sunayana says, all my sons-in-laws, they are very powerful. Alludu notlo Shani, this is the word which she said. Because Sita is in exile, Urmila is not having her husband, and this Bharata is staying away from the court, and Shatrughna always follows Bharata. So she says, all our girls, they are not fortunate enough to have the blessings of the royal kingdom. This is the way the woman characterization has been done in my book, Antaranga Tarangam. I have mentioned about all these things. Then coming back to the characterization of Urmila, I said, she was almost like a sleeping lady. Urmila Devi Nidra, we have so many anecdotes and Janapada Gayas also mentioning about Sita Devi, Janapada the style. They mentioned that Urmila is always in her sleepy mood. When Lakshmana comes, she could not recognize. This is the poetical way they have mentioned. And all these things, when we look back, when we go to the Sita Devi, she was admired by all, either openly or in their heart of hearts. Even Shurpanaka had admiration towards Sita Devi. And her charming beauty is reported by Shurpanaka to her brother Ravana, and her captivating complexion as a rare phenomena. And Shurpanaka mentions about Sita, Sarvaloka Manohari. This is the tempting word for Ravana when she mentioned about Sita Devi. Then Mandodari, who considers herself superior to Sita in birth, beauty and benevolence, praises her as a replica of both Bhudevi and Sridevi. These are the words uttered by Mandodari, none other than Mandodari. She claims to Ravana, poor fellow, I have much beauty than Sita Devi. Why you are going for that? In beauty and benevolence, I am great. And Sita Devi is a combination and a replica of Bhudevi and Sri Devi. And her ranks are as superior to Rohini and Arundhati. These are the two ladies which are venerated by the sages in charm and chastity. Rohini is for charm and Arundhati for chastity. But it is an irony of fate that such a paragon of beauty, chastity, and integrity should suffer throughout her life and seek shelter in the interior layers of the Mother Earth. Finally, she has to go to the Mother Earth. But this is the hard reality underlined in the fascinating and pathetic story of Ramayana. Ramayana is otherwise known also as Sitayana, the coordinated march of Rama and Sita, who have remained immortal images for all that is good. That is why Sumantra has rightly said, consoling the king Dasharatha when he came back and his queen Kausalya, that the woeful tales of Rama and Sita are not to be lamented, but will be applauded for casting their lasting impression on humanity and human dignity for all the ages to come. This is the height of greatness of Rama and Sita. Shri Swarupini, Sita is described as Shri Swarupini. Sita is seen speaking for the first time in the epic while greeting Rama on the day of his proposed coronation. First time Sita's character enters in this drama and she praised him to take over this rule. Then, a few hours later on the same day, she is again seen talking to Rama, all together in a different situation. The coronation suddenly takes the form of an exile. Rama was to leave for the forest the same evening. There was no time given for him to stay back in Ayodhya. He has already taken his mother's permission and blessings for the same. But he finds it hard to put it to Sita. He was not able to tell Sita that I am going for exile. He approaches her with a depressed mind and obvious discomfiture. Sita, being shrewd and intelligent by nature, reads his mind from his looks and exclaims in an inexcusable anxiety. After seeing Rama coming from Dasharatha's palace, he was not in a delightful mood. So she asked Rama, what happened to you, my lord? Then when Rama, with a lot of hesitation, reveals a shocking news to her and advises her to stay at home and serve his parents for 14 years, Sita comes out in her true color and accepting the challenge more readily than her husband and insisting that she should also accompany her. This is the thing which Sita has told, I should accompany you. When Rama persists in his reluctance to take her with him for several reasons and describes to her in detail the hardships she will follow in the forest, Sita smiles. She never said against the words of Rama, but she completely agrees and disagrees with Rama. And she says, my father has thought you are a valiant prince of Ayodhya, and her father Janaka never knew that his son-in-law was a masculine only in form and not in drive by dynamism. This is the situation which when some people say she should not have spoken in a harsh words like this. What are the words she said? Oh Lord Rama, my father Janaka thought you are a valiant prince of Ayodhya, and he never knew that his son-in-law was a masculine only in the form of and not in drive and dynamism. This silences Rama, who ultimately agrees to take her to the forest. Thus, she asserts her right to accompany her husband, though she was not covered under the wishes of Kaikeyi, because Kaikeyi never said that you go along with your wife. But throughout the delicate conversation with Rama, she maintains marvelous balance of emotions, law of modesty, and high sense of propriety without any prejudice to the royal dignity. Because he comes from a royal family. Janaka is also known as a Maharshi. He is also a person with all divine characteristics. He was a king as well as a rishi, Janaka Maharshi. His samvadas are very famous in Ramayana, and he always lived a life of an ascetical manner. Rama too appreciates her uprightness, which was obviously a result of her upbringing at home, and he really feels proud of having such a noble lady as his life companion. Rama appreciates the characteristics of Sita Devi. When Kaikeyi insists on Sita wearing the bar garments, Narachira, along with Rama, Vasistha intervenes and scolds Kaikeyi. This is the first time we see Vasistha in an angry mood, because he could not see or he could not contemplate the act of Sita Devi by wearing Narachiras. And he says, "You are exceeding the limits of propriety," and tells the public that Sita will rule the land as her husband's rightful representative during his exile. This is a legal point. She wanted Rama to go for exile, but Sita is capable and Sita is legally a heir for the kingdom. This is the words uttered by Vasistha, none other than, because he is Rajaguru, and whatever he says, it becomes a rule. Sita looks innocent. On seeing the garments and also on hearing the words of Vasistha, with full of feeling, Vasistha said with all emotions, she wears the garments and leaves for the forest with her husband, though she accepts with deep gratitude the garments and ornaments given by Dasharatha as his parting token of blessings. Dasharatha insisted that all the garments and virtues are to be sent for the Sita's exile for all the 14 years. She responds to the advice tendered by the Queen Kausalya to treat Rama with respect during his exile, saying that she has the necessity of background to conduct herself as a loyal life companion. This is the advice given by mother-in-law. She was telling Sita Devi, you don't think that you're in exile along with your husband, but you treat him as your life companion. Then coming to the characterization of Sita Devi, when they were crossing the river Ganga, she offers her prayers, Sitanjali, it is known as Sitanjali, to use the words of Valmiki, to the sacred river, asking for her blessings for the successful completion of the stipulated period of forest life. Normally, when our own children or somebody is having some pains, the wife, she takes some blessings from goddess or whatever it is. Similarly, in the case of Sita Devi also, while crossing the river Ganga, there the character of Guha also will see, and the Guha's character has been described in several other poems of Molla and others. Guha was reluctant to ask Rama to put his foot on his Nava. He says, I will clean your feet and then you would enter. Because his apprehension was that you have made one stone a woman. If my Nava becomes a woman, what happens to my life? This is my livelihood. So Rama, you just wait. I will clean your feet and then you enter into this Nava. And this is a story, and it is really a heart-woven story. Then the sage Bharadwaja showers his affectionate blessings on Sita and asks the two princes to fulfill all her desires, as she has chosen to undertake the forest life for the sake of sacrificing her royal beauties. Bharadwaja was a sage. His advice was well taken because he was worried about the royal patronage. If Sita has continued in the Ayodhya, she would have enjoyed all the pleasures of royal, but she has taken the decision to accompany Rama. So Bharadwaja advised both Rama and Lakshmana to take care of her. Even the sage Agastya also praises the spirit of sacrifice she has exhibited in serving her husband in times of distress, unmindful of the danger involved in the path she has chosen. Because this is a forest, there are so many animals, so these animals are prevalent, and she knows that it is a dangerous place. Even then, she accompanied Rama. Then Rama feels jealous of her. Valmiki equates Sita with Anasuya in this context by using the same name for both. Anasuya, Asuya Lenidi, the person who doesn't have Asuya. So Valmiki describes both Sita Devi and Anasuya with the same words, Anasuya, Anasuya. Anasuya takes special pleasure in hearing the details of Sita's marriage in her own words. The forest life, as anticipated, poses many challenges to the Trinity. Here we have the Trinity, Sita, Rama, and Lakshmana. And Sita never loses her balance, even in the most adverse circumstances. The first encounter was with Viradha, who tries to grab Sita and run away. When he is attacked by the two princes, he drops. Sita downs and lifts the two princes on his shoulders and starts running away. She requests the demon to leave the princess and take her instead. The Viradha is a peculiar situation. So Viradha was carrying both Rama and Lakshmana. Sita has been dropped. And she insisted, she requires immense courage and confidence for a young woman to say like this, take me and leave the two princes. I bow to you, the great Rakshasa. Mam Harotrasya. These are the words uttered by Sita Devi. The patience and the presence of mind displayed by Janaki in the first episode in Dandaka forest prepare her for more disenchanting and challenging tasks ahead. This is the way how characterization of Sita is made. She is sometimes described as Maithili because she belongs to Mithila Nagara. Maithili could not realize her mistake when Ravana came to the hermitage, entered into the hermitage and asked in the guise of a hermit, amending to reveal his real form and express his evil intentions. The abduction has taken place. Jatayu tried to help, but he could not. And this story we know, it ended with several anecdotes and episodes. And when Hanuman was deeply absorbed in the assimilation of the excellence right in front of him, Ravana enters into the scene. When Ashokavana, when Sita Devi was seen by Hanuman for the first time, so many things have happened in the presence of Hanuman, and he was the person who was capable of getting the message from Rama to Sita and from Sita to Rama also. The characterization of these two instances I have taken today because Hanuman is the epitome of service. Sita is the epitome of love and purity. These two characters have been maintained and mentioned by Valmiki at several places, and at several instances, these two characters have been imbibed to know about the culture of Hindu and the Hindu's divinity, and all the praise goes to Valmiki in describing these characters in such a manner that they are still prevalent in the entire history of mankind and the entire history of Hindu Tattva. Thank you all, and we leave the house for any discussion.
బాబు గారు
ధన్యవాదములండి.
Right.
Thank you so much. You have covered many characters in the Ramayana. Any questions from audience we will take, or are there questions in the chat box?
There are no questions in the chat box.
Okay. Actually, Ramayanam is, well known to all people. It looks like no questions, but nevertheless, a lot of people will have questions.
basically still there in the
Ramayanam. They are still
they got immersed. They're yet to come out to ask questions.
actual mention of Lakshman.
There is a question. In Valmiki Ramayana, is there an actual mention of Lakshmana Rekha?
Lakshmana Rekha, yeah. It is not there, sir. It is some things like Ahalya was like a stone. Really, she was not like a stone. She was Dhuli Dhu Sarita. These are the words made by Valmiki. But after some time, when Ramacharitamanasa and other things came, and Mallarama and others came, they described it in a different manner to emulate Rama's characterization as a god. But it was never insisted that Ahalya was in a stone form. Similarly, this Lakshmana Rekha also, this is a story by the later parts of the poets. They have created all these things. And there are so many variations in the entire story narration also, making so many people feel that. Yesterday, I was studying Ramacharitamanasa, and some commentator said, at the point of time of describing Ashokavana, the poem Tulsidas, he mentioned about Ashokavana with the full beauty of different flowers, of different natures, in different colors. Then Hanuman was sitting in front of Tulsidas. At the point of time of writing, Tulsidas and Hanuman, like Vyasa and Ganapati, they were just sitting opposite. So Hanuman objected to it, saying that all the flowers in Ashokavana are red only, not in different colors. Then they had a different fight, difficult fight. Tulsidas insisted, no, it has different flowers. Hanuman insisted, no, I have gone and seen. Who are you, poor fellow? You do not know Ashokavana. I was the first witness. Then Rama came to be an adjudicator. And finally, Rama said, you are correct, Hanuman. Your eyes were bloody when you saw Sita. That is why all the flowers in Ashokavana appeared to you as red. Otherwise, all of them are different colors. This is the way, a poetical way to put forth the knowledge. Similarly, this Lakshmana Rekha also is an abrogation to the original story. They wanted to create some story. So they said, while leaving, Lakshmana said, oh, Ma Sita, you don't come across or you cross this line. He never told. Because in that fact, when we go through the entire narration of Sita, she was very furious. She was not in good terms with Lakshmana. She suspected that he will take her as a wife or something like that. She uttered so many things which she should not have told. And she repented at a later stage also. So Lakshmana said, as you are insisting that I should go and protect Rama, I am leaving. Otherwise, he is safe and no one can touch him. These are the words told by Lakshmana. And he didn't draw any line. This is a very interesting story just to hear or see. And in our films, most of them, they made it like that. When Ravana wanted to enter, even he put his foot to this word, then there was a big flame. And these are the things which were created by the filmy people. Nothing like that. But we can enjoy. These are the stories to be believed and not to be realistic.
Okay. Is there any papa for Sita abduction and again going to exile during pregnancy?
There is no curse as far as my knowledge goes. She was born as an Ayonija, and the story of Vedavati also is there. When we look back at the story of Uttarakanda, some people even believe, even recently, Gargapat Narasimha Rao, he was telling in his Pravachana that it is not the creation of Valmiki. Valmiki has ended the story with Yuddhakanda only, and this is an interpolation. Somebody has created it. I also, when I wrote Sangraha Valmiki Ramayana, I didn't touch Uttar Ramayana because it has several interpolations, and it has the birth of Ravana, it has the birth of Dasharatha, and all these stories are there. The story goes like that. Kausalya was driven by, she was thrown into the sea, and like that several stories have been imbibed in that. But when your point comes, the curse to Sita Devi, I didn't come across any such story in any one of the Ramayanas, but she knows that her fate is there. She has to leave for the forest in exile, number 1 in 14 years. And in the end of the story, when she was about to leave, when Rama says, you wanted a boon, and I am sending you to the forest to enjoy your pregnancy time when you are in the time of birth of Lava and Kusha. These stories are there in Uttarakhanda, and all these stories are not real stories written by Valmiki according to the scholars. But Uttarakhanda also is a respected one. And in the case of Ravana also, Ravana was once strolling near the sea, and he saw Mandodari, and Mandodari's father was Maya, and after seeing her, immediately he wanted to marry her. Maya has no way to say no to him because he knows that this fellow is a very dangerous fellow. So immediately the marriage took place between Mandodari and Ravana in this sea shore, not in the palace or anywhere in Lanka or any other place. Similarly, in the case of Kausalya also, the marriage of Dasharatha and Kausalya, it was done on the seashore only. These are the stories imbibed in this Uttarakhanda. And Uttarakhanda is a very big, lengthy story also. But one should read it, but we should not compare the entire story. And several people have their own reservations regarding the sanctity and the originality of this Uttarakhanda stories. But it is very interesting to read. One should read it. Even Pullal Sri Ramachandrudu also, he has written the commentary for Uttarakhanda. Recently, Vavilla publications, you must be knowing, they're very popular publishers from Andhra. They are attempting to bring out these 7 parts with colorful notes of Bapu, and they wanted me to write a preface for one of the kandas. I have done it, and it will be ready by in another 1 month. That person, Srinivasa Rao, told me that it will be a colorful book, 7 volumes with descriptions, and all the 7 comes to 1,000 rupees, the pre-priced, the pre-publication rate. And everybody agrees that Uttarakhanda also is relevant because, as in the case of Bharata, Vyasa wanted to narrate the story of Lord Krishna. He started the story, but he was involved in the entire story because Pandavas and Kauravas are very much attached to him, and he has forgotten about the mentioning about the story of Lord Krishna. So after going back, when the entire Swargarahana Parva is over, he thought, I have forgotten this, write the story of Krishna, and he started Bhagavata and Harivamsa. It is known as Harivamsa. It is an appendix for Mahabharata. That is why Harivamsa is portrayed as an appendix to Mahabharata. I had the opportunity of describing this Harivamsa in Dharma Sandehal program of Vijayawada station. My predecessor, Ushasri, was telling Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavata. It was over for 3 years. He was transferred to Kadapa, and I was transferred from Kadapa to Vijayawada. So I had the opportunity of narrating this Harivamsa in Dharma Sandehal program. It's a very interesting story. Every Sunday at 12 o'clock, people used to come by tourist buses to see Ushasri. His voice was very meticulous, was metallic also, and he has his own way of narrating the stories also. First, for the 10 minutes, he will answer the questions put by the listeners, and then he will narrate the story. He has completed Bharata, Bhagavata, and Ramayana in 3 years. And when we left for Kadapa, I was the person in charge of that program. And then I took over Harivamsa of Erra Pragada, and it was narrated for full 1.5 years and I brought it out in the form of a book also. His brother, Purana Panda Radhakrishnamurti, the original name of Ushasri is Purana Panda Surya Prakasha Dikshitalu. He is not, his pen name is Ushasri. So Purana Panda Surya Prakasha Dikshitalu's younger brother, he was in Rajamandri and he was running a publishing house. So he took my Harivamsha and more than 1 lakh copies have been published, and it is very popular for the narration because it is in prose form. Yerrapragada has written it. Yerrapragada became part of this trinity of Nannaya, Tikkana and Errana, not by writing half part of Aranyaparva. He has completed Harivamsha also, the latter part of Mahabharata. It is a full text. So by completing Harivamsha and half part of Aranyaparva, he became part of the trinity, Kavitraya. So this is the way we have to interpret all these things. So as Chittibabu Sir has said, I don't feel that Sita Devi has any curse.
Okay. There is one more question. There are a few small questions. In Agni Pravesam by Sita, is it there in the Ramayana?
Yes, yes, it is there. It is very much there.
Right.
It is
The other
he,
question is
Rama asked Lakshmana to bring to prepare the fire, and she entered into the fire and came out with brightness.
right. If Uttarakhanda is not written by Valmiki, how we can have 24,000 slokas of Ramayana until Uttarakhanda is only 17,000 plus, not fully 24,000.
Yeah. The combination of Uttarakhanda gives us the fullness of 24,000. So Uttarakhanda also is, because it is only a controversy. So the entire Ramayana has 24,000 slokas, because 24 is given for our Gayatri mantra and all these things. That is why it is there, sir. Uttarakhanda, according to some people, it is an argument and it is to be debatable.
Okay. Does Chiranjeevi mean they don't have age on or they don't die? Hanuman was old in Mahabharata when Bhima sees him in the Vana when he is searching for the Pushpa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are fully correct, because Ashwatthama, Hanuman, and all these people are Chiranjeevis. I was discussing and narrating in a big platform, and I mentioned Hanuman as Chiranjeevi, and people has clapped and they were in praise. They thought this Chiranjeevi is our cinema hero Chiranjeevi. They never thought Hanuman as Chiranjeevi, because they were in praise of this Chiranjeevi, not Hanuman as a Chiranjeevi. So I'm not talking about this Chiranjeevi who has started a party.
Okay. How can we call Rama as Satvik when he is a Kshatriya? I mean, Rajasic nature, hunting, eating, non-veg, etc. I think there is some problem on the internet.
Yes, there is some. I think he will come out hopefully.
Yeah. Just a minute. We'll give a minute time. Or we go for Prarthana and then by the time he comes back, we can interact.
Okay. Vishal Chavali, Vishalakshi.
ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् Satyam vada dharmam chara swadhyayanma pramadaha sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Swasti.
ధన్యవాదములండి కేవల్ విశాలాక్షి గారు. Has he come? Yes, see.
No, we'll complete Janaganamana and then he has not come yet. I haven't seen him.
Hello.
No,
Ah,
he has come, I think.
There was a problem in my connection, sir. Power supply failure. Power
no
supply
problem.
failure.
We'll just finish the national
Yeah.
anthem and we'll take the questions.
Oh,
May
Are-
there are still we have questions.
Yeah. 2 or 3 questions are there.
quickly we'll finish
Yeah.
that.
Okay, we'll finish the
Please,
questions then.
please. Yeah.
Could Rama kill Vali with Vijaya Mala given by Indra face to face? And as a result of this sin, Krishna was arrowed by Kirata in Krishna Avatara.
Yeah, this story is prevalent, and this is very popular story also, and it is believed that it is correct. We need not argue on that particular thing, but Right Honorable Srinivasa Shastri, in his own book, he has very fluently described about the Valivadha and the different parts of questions which made Rama's appearance or Rama's behavior or Rama's character as a critical one. Right Honorable Srinivasa Shastri says, according to the law of the land, Rama was eligible to kill Vali because he was the ruler of the entire Aranya. Bharata was the ruler of Ayodhya, and the rest of the part of the kingdom is ruled by Rama with the presence of Bharata. So he was responsible for treating any type of creatures. It can be Vanaras, it can be Rakshasas, or anybody. He is the protector. And he argued with Vali also that I am the person who is eligible to kill you. And then the question comes why he should stand behind a tree and then kill, and why not in a regular battle. It is a point of question, and it is to be debated only.
Okay.
Okay, I think Babu garu, as you said, we will have Janaganamana because
Yeah.
Please.
after that we will have some
Questions.
Not necessary, sir. Not necessary. We can close. We can close. Yeah.
And some people, if they want to leave, then for that. No
Yeah,
problem.
please.
Okay, let's have Janaganamana. All of you, please stand up.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद.
Okay. Okay, let us continue with our question answer sessions.
Yeah, there is one question. Did Sita ever give, press anguish to her children about Rama leaving them in jungle? Does she ever express desire to deliver her children in the peaceful jungle? And the third question also is, did she actually have twins? There is some story saying that Lava was lost or something like that.
Yeah. According to the original story of Uttarakhanda also, both the twins were born. They were christened by Valmiki with tearing even Darbha, Lava and Kusha. And Kusha is the elder one and Lava is the smaller younger brother. And she did not, but in our Lava Kusha and all the films, there was a big fight between Rama and Lava Kusha. And these people, they say in Sesapajja, one line is for Rama and one line is for Lavakusha. And the Susila and Leela, they sang on behalf of Lavakusha. And this is a story which we can enjoy. But real story goes that at the time of the birth of Lavakusha, Shatrughna was also there in the hermitage. He knew that somebody has given birth to the twins, and Valmiki was taking care of them. And Sita never had a desire to send Lavakusha to Rama's royal court. It was Valmiki who has taken the decision to send them with his own tunes of Valmiki Ramayana. And when Rama was impressed at the behavior and the narration of the story, he invited them to his royal court. And in the presence of all the queens, Valmiki presented Sita as the guardian, as a person who was guarded by Valmiki. And Rama also has accepted it with some difference of opinion. Yeah.
Okay. There is just a minute. Sir, is there any specific strategy of Devas behind not informing Bharata about the abduction of Sita, friendship with Sugriva, Rama Ravana battle, etc.? Specifically, Kishikinda and Dandaka are part of Ikshvaku dynasty, and Ayodhya kings have strong military base and envoys all over in their kingdom. Could you please clarify?
Yeah, this is a good question for an interview. Normally, when we do interviews with celebrities, we ask him a question and then the celebrity says it's a very good question. Similarly, this is a very good question because in Ramayana, several parts of the story went on like a stream. If somebody says, if Bharata knows and Bharata comes forward to protect Rama and the objection is illegal, then the entire story is different. So we have to take the story in the form of a story only. For example, in the case of a real story, in 1977, after the emergency, if Indira Gandhi has come again, what happened? Well, if Maharaji Desai's government has not taken into form, and what happened? Like all this, these are imaginations. But this question is a very relevant question because why Janaka has not interfered? Why Bharata has not interfered? As you said, it is very nearby. Dandakaranya is none other than our Bhadrachalam. And this Ayodhya is a part of this Ayodhya. But during those days, if I can put it like this, the communication facilities were very, very less. That's why Bharata might not have been known about the abduction. That is the only answer I can put forth.
Okay.
In case of this story is to be believed.
Okay, the questions in the chat box are over. If somebody wants to ask any question, they can.
Okay, if there are very relevant questions to this topic, please ask. Jay Bhadri, Jay Madhuri.
Namaste, namaste, sir. I really enjoy your Ramayana explanation. Sir, you said that in Dandakaranya, when Rakshasa carries away Rama and Lakshmana, and Sita asks him to take her instead of them. I never heard the story, and I thought like Rama is unbeatable, like he can kill so many people at the time. So who is this Rakshasa who took away Rama and Lakshmana?
Viradha is a person, and finally both Rama and Lakshmana, they has cut forth his hands, and then he.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
The one with the long hands, is that the one?
Yeah, Viradha, yes. Viradha is the.
Viradha comes after Sita got abducted, right? So the one who with the long hands, no.
No. Before that. Well, all three of them were traveling.
So he is the one with long hands. I think he comes before marriage of Rama, right, sir?
No. Before the marriage, he has killed Tataka.
And one more Rakshasa with the long hands, he grabs. I'm confused. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Kabanda is also.
Kabanda,
Kabanda,
that is the
Kabanda.
person, Kabanda. And he did not die, and they have put a pit, and then he has kept his body there. Then only he died.
Kabanda, yes, sir, Kabanda. That's why Kabanda
is different from Viradha. Kabanda is different from Viradha.
So yes, how he died, sir, Viradha?
And these newspapers, they have different. Viradha, he has first taken Sita and then dropped her, and then both persons, they were going on his shoulders, and they thought it is better to cut his hands, and then he died.
Okay.
Viradha. Yeah. And jocularly, Rama said, he is helping us to travel in the forest.
So, is this true, sir, that Ravana has touched Sita?
No.
Rakshasa also
Yeah. No, at the time of abduction, it is not true that he has taken the entire earth and then taken Sita. By forcibly, with hands only, he has taken her. And that doesn't compel with the chastity of Sita. Because she was swoon and she was not in consciousness. And the story of Ravana bringing the entire earth with Sita is not true.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Pantul garu, you want to ask any question?
Sir, namaskaram, sir. So, thank you very much for your interesting speech on Ramayana.
Sir.
I have a small doubt, sir, because this originally Valmiki Ramayana is the base. Because the right person described Ramayana and I think what happened there. But subsequently, though the writers are not contemporary to Ramayana, they are making so many Valmiki Ramayana, Babu Ramayana, Malla Ramayana, other Ramayanas, and showing different characters in different ways, just for enjoying purposes. How far it is destroyed? How far it is? Because Valmiki Ramayana is the base one. What the other peoples are diverting the thing, not diverting things, describing the things in other way. It's giving a confusion and a lot of these things among the public.
Sir, the poets are unsung heroes and rollers also. They have their own way of treating any theme. They can even in Mahabharata also, Pampa Bharata differs from original Mahabharata of Vyasa. Similarly, Ramayanas also, in all other languages also, they have their own differences. Ramacharitamanus also is not completely in tune with Valmiki Ramayana. So that's why we call it as Avalmika, other than Valmika. Though they have interpolations also, And in different languages, they have their own way of telling the story. That is why we can't restrict the poets by saying that you should translate only Valmiki Ramayana and you should not interpret the Valmiki Ramayana. These are the interpretations.
Okay.
Different types of interpretations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
BL Samskruti garu.
నమస్కారం గురుగారు.
Murthy garu.
ఇప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు సీత ఆ దశలో రాముని అది హేకల్ చేసింది, హేళన హేకల్డ్ రామ దట్ హర్ ఫాదర్ హ్యాస్ మ్యారీడ్ హర్ టు విత్ లేడీ. సో ఈజ్ ఇట్ can it be taken as a light vein?
No, it is not lighter vein, sir. If suppose if a wife and husband they go on fighting, at the end of the day she wants to succeed, she will say some blame on the husband. Then only he comes to truth. That is why that is the only tactics she has followed. That doesn't mean that she has undermined the characteristics of Rama, because she want to follow him and he is not accepting by several means. And this is the only trick she has played. And that doesn't mean she has demeaned the characteristics of Rama.
Okay.
And one more, Rama as a lord or a husband should take care of her wife, though he has expelled her. Whether what precaution he has taken, or it is a punishment, because someone have blamed. He knows that she is very good, pious one. Is there any? Has he taken any care, or just all Valmiki Ashramam like that? You know everything.
Yeah. So this is a debatable point, whether Rama was correct in sending her to the forest. Some people say it is incorrect, and nowadays we have this woman liberalization, and people with all this activization, they say Rama was very much a very unlawful person, and he has not treated his wife with greatness. So this differs from yuga to yuga. We are talking about Treta Yuga. He believes in his own way of describing the law, and he is almost a king to rule his country and his countrymen. And even if a small person has his own doubt, then he thought that he should abandon Sita Devi. We cannot question him.
No, I am not challenging his. He is in those areas it may be there, but
Yeah.
what I meant to ask you, whether he has taken care of her protection, because as a ruler.
No. Lakshmana has left her in the forest, and somehow Valmiki took pity on her, and he took her into the hermitage. And we have several stories how he has protected her, and the birth of Lavakushas also. This is an episode which we all cherish. Valmiki has taken care of. Rama doesn't know that Valmiki Ashrama is there, or he did not advise Lakshmana to take her near to Valmiki Ashram and leave her. It is a coincidence.
Okay.
It is a coincidence.
Okay. Last question. Whether Kshatriya as Rama, as a representative of Bharata, he has killed Vali, he has replied like that. But whether any Kshatriya can follow that rule, or is it allowed only for Rama? Because the Kshatriya, so many Kshatriyas may be there without any power. But whether he has taken that, or as a Avatara Purusha, or any Kshatriya can do this one as he feels.
In favor of his defense, he has put forth this. It is a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question, Sujit garu, quickly and very short.
Yeah. Sir, namaste. In the
Namaste.
context of the last journey of Rama to take Jal Samadhi, which part of Ramayana, because in the Manas, which they call Tulsi Ramayana, which is actually the Charita Manas, there is a description of him going to go to the water to take Jal Samadhi on the Gagar Ghat. Does the original Ramayana also have that reference?
Yeah, he went into the Jal Samadhi. The original Ramayana has kept it like this, and Ramacharitamanasa has improvised it. It has been improvised. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
extra time also.
Thank you.
So now shall we close, sir?
Yes,
think-
please. Yes,
Yeah, we
please.
can now close. Thank you.
Okay.
మళ్ళీ
We
కలుసుకుందామండి.
look forward for another one more course.
Yeah.
Courses, and we are starting another course for youth. That is teenagers plus up to age of 30, and we request you also to educate them on this.
What are the dates, sir? You didn't mention on the day or the dates.
I will tell you, sir. I will give you.
Please. I'm little busy during December and January. If you can
Okay.
mention me about 10 days in advance, I can
Manage it.
materialize and manage my days.
Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure. It will be. I thought January only, but I will give you exact dates.
No problem. My dates doesn't coincide with the ladies' dates.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
I'm closing.